It's really good to be back on air.
It is, definitely.
For the Calcio Guys, with Adreano and Nicholas, I'm Nicholas Di Giovanni. I was about to say with Gianni Del Colli, but he's not here.
No, that's typical now for Johnny.
He's working at TD Bank down in the Old Port.
Yeah, so shout out TD.
Shout out TD. Congratulations to Gianni. Also, he actually got a promotion.
Nice.
He's going to be, I think, a supervisor at TD in Henry Barassa.
There we go.
So shout out to Gianni.
Shout out to Johnny. He's not
good
here.
For him.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll count him in.
But you made it here,
finally.
Even though you're still on injured reserve.
A bit, yes.
From Fairview United.
Fairview United, first win 2019, and I unfortunately got hurt in 2018. And but no, we're back, and we're happy to be back.
Coppa Italia this weekend gave us some calcio to watch.
Yeah.
Despite the winter break from the Serie A. Did you watch many of the games?
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I watched obviously the Milan game against Sampdoria. I caught obviously a bit of the highlights for the rest of the games, but I just found, it was kind of just, the big dogs kind of winning across the board in the Coppa Italia. So, I mean, which I think was expected. So Milan beat Samp, Lazio beat Novara, Juve against Bologna. Fiorentina took 2-0 against Torino, Inter over Benevento, Napoli, Sassuolo. So, I mean, it was kind of expected. I caught the highlights and definitely watched the Milan game.
Yeah, there really wasn't one upset. The only thing you could say is Milan would have had a hard time to win in Genoa against Sampdoria.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a harder game, obviously.
Which that's what it ended up being. So
They won. If Sampdoria, if Sampdoria won that, it wouldn't have been that much of an upset either.
Obviously it was kind of back and forth game, but Milan needed it, and they did get it at the end, so I'm very happy for that.
First touch in an advanced position, a lovely ball in, and it's finished, and Milan have the lead, the simplest of goals, and it's Patrick Cutrone, came on as a sub at the start of extra time. Cutrone is going to get another one. It's another soft one, but Cutrone doesn't care. He's volleyed it over Rafael, and Patrick Cutrone is off the bench. He's bagged a brace.
Did you hear that commentator say those are soft goals?
You know what? We'll take it. Soft, hard, I don't care. I will take those goals. We needed them, and, we'll take it.
It was 2 volleys.
It was 2 volleys. I mean, it was great goals. I mean, the first one, Conti and Cutrone, they connected right off the bat as soon as they both came in. Conti, a beautiful ball that Abate will never put in. So I'm happy that he got some minutes and he got that assist on Cutrone's first goal. And Cutrone, man, he's just doing what he knows how to do and finish in front of a goal. And that's what you saw on the weekend.
So we'll be having Elias Grigoriadis join us later to talk about, we're expanding past Italy for this week, to talk about Real Madrid, maybe a bit of the Greek national team. We'll have to see about that. We'll ask him about that. But back with this Coppa Italia, Inter hosted Benevento.
Yep.
I was surprised. Remember, we talked about in our little special show we did last week.
Yep.
That Inter had 3 games, closed doors.
Yep.
And this counted as one of them for their actions towards Kalidou Koulibaly on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Which I don't like.
No, I mean, when we both, I think, found that out, weren't fans of that. I mean, if you're putting down a punishment, the league like Serie A, that's putting down this punishment, I think it should be handled a little bit better, to be honest with you. Coppa Italia match.
Nobody's going to these anyways.
Well, I mean, there are fans going, but, it's not the same atmosphere as it would be in a Serie A match, I would presume. And you know what? I think these games shouldn't count as like part of like suspensions or part of bans and stuff like that. So I'm kind of a bit disappointed on Serie A's part for that, but I mean, it is what it is, and we'll have to go on from here.
You know what? They should have had it closed doors, but not count towards the suspension. It should have been 3 games, 3 Serie A games, and whatever Coppa Italia is in between, then those are closed doors too.
Yeah, it's up for debate, but I mean, yeah, I would probably agree with that too. As long as they were done in the Serie A, because these actions happen in Serie A.
Yeah,
they didn't happen in Coppa Italia. They didn't happen in another competition, So I would have just liked to see, or for it to be handled in a proper manner.
Federico Chiesa stole the show for Fiorentina.
It's another one for Chiesa to chase. The ankle's there. Chiesa's there as well, though. Chiesa! 2-0! His second of the match this time. The goal tucked away beautifully with the outside of the boot.
You know what? I like this because there were 27 goals scored this weekend in the Coppa Italia games, and 11 were scored by Italians, including Ciro Immobile, Patrick Cutrone, Antonio Candreva, and Federico Chiesa all got 2 goals.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of this tournament, to develop young players, young Italian players, to get their shot that they wouldn't normally get in the Serie A. So it's good to see Italian players finally scoring.
No, yeah, I mean, we've mentioned obviously in previous shows when talking about Italy, the attack is where it's lacking. There's no goals coming in. You know, we say we have the players to do it, and they're not producing. So yeah, it was obviously nice to see, these players scoring in a, maybe a weaker competition, but at the same time, it's still a competition that, teams go out there and try. So I'm very happy to see that. Hopefully that can translate over to, the national team side when that does come around. But, especially that these younger guys are getting in there and getting these goals and, that are important. Cutrone too, Bernardeschi scored. Moise Kean also got onto the score sheet for Juventus. These players, they haven't really emerge, I guess you can say, internationally, maybe besides Bernardeschi, but if they can start getting these, these experiences and this confidence, now when it comes to time for call-ups, I think they'll definitely be able to shine.
I was actually happy to see 2 Italians scored for Juventus.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
No, it's very rare that even one Italian scores. They don't really have Italians up in attack, only Bernardeschi. Mm-hmm. When Chiellini and Bonucci chip in offensively, or DeCilio.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was good to see Bernardeschi score. He obviously had a hot start to the season and then tailed off because of his injury. And then, Moise Kean. It's fun to see him do well. It's funny, he scored his first goal with Juventus May 2017 at Bologna.
Yeah.
And he scores goal number 2 January 2019 at Bologna.
There, and now it's fallen. Costa with a side of goal, much closer this time. Crucial block. Keane puts it in. They look along the line. Moise Kean, who scored his first goal for Juve at Bologna, has returned to action here this evening and gets the second goal that should put them through in the Coppa Italia.
So now moving forward, Coppa Italia quarterfinal, Lazio, Inter, Fiorentina, Roma, Juventus, Atalanta, which is actually going to be in Bergamo because this year they changed up the rules competition and actually the lower seed gets home field advantage. That's why Milan played in Sampdoria. That's why Juventus played in Bologna. And then Milan will be hosting Napoli.
Napoli, yeah.
Do you like that home field advantage rule?
It's definitely obviously a change. It's something new. I think it kind of gets these lower seed teams, however you want to call it, a bit more excited for this. Especially like the lower end teams that are in the competition, maybe past these stages, and like teams like Bologna or even Benevento, they got to host Inter.
Well, that was at the San Siro.
That was at the San Siro.
So maybe there's some even Lazio hosted Novara, so maybe it's within Serie A teams.
Okay. Well, regardless what it is, even if it's a lower end team in Serie A, to host like a bigger team. I know they do it during the season, but just another time during the season to get their fans really behind them. I think it could go a long way for those type of teams. But you know what? It's definitely a change, and Serie A is trying to make a lot of changes as we've seen this year and I think going forward. So we'll have to take it from here.
I would like to see that rule up until the quarterfinals when it becomes closer, and then it's not fair to have the higher seeded team go on the road.
Yeah.
Lots of Mercato madness that we're going to be talking about soon.
Absolutely.
You're listening to the Calcio Guys on CJO 1690. Welcome back to the Calcio Guys on CJO 1690 with Adreano and Nicholas. Di Giovanni. It's January, so that means it's Mercato madness.
Yes.
The March Madness for Serie A fans. Not really. Close enough.
Close enough, but it's action-packed always.
We've seen a lot of news trending lately. Krzysztof Piątek,
the latest,
the superstar scorer from Genoa, being linked heavily with Milan, and this is a move that finally might make sense for the striker.
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing because it's he's only really been in the league for 6 months, not even, so like half the season. I don't know if that's enough to really prove your worth, especially with the tag that Preziosi is putting on him of at least 40 million. He definitely can score. Obviously, we've seen that earlier on this season, but he did kind of dip off a bit. I do think Milan can use him, not to replace Cutrone, maybe to partner up with him or as like another bench player, but especially if obviously there's been news going around Italy with the whole Higuain saga, if he's going to leave Milan in January, maybe to Sarri's Chelsea or a move elsewhere. And if that does eventually happen, I would definitely take Piontek to Milan. I think him and Cutrone could probably play together. I wouldn't like to see him, overtake Cutrone, because as Milan fans, we've seen Cutrone flourish, and we know what he can do, especially in, all games. No matter what the competition is, he comes out to play. He plays for the shirt. He's hungry. He knows how to score. He's got it all pretty much for a young kid like that. So I wouldn't really want to see him, kind of dip off himself. So if they can get him in and they can, play together, I will definitely like to see that more.
I would like to see Piontek in Milan because it's one of the few teams that's going to give him an opportunity to play in Europe and
hopefully
get a starting role on the team all season long. If he goes to Juventus, if he goes to Napoli, if he goes to even Real Madrid,
yeah,
he was once linked to them, or even if he goes to Roma, Inter, those are teams they already have a solid number 9, and we know Milan doesn't. That's if Higuain goes to Chelsea, which I think he will. I think Sarri really wants him there, and I really don't think Gattuso wants him there. I don't think anybody within the Milan management wants him anymore.
I don't know. It's tough. I find there's a bit of not too much clarity. I find there's sources saying one thing, sources saying another thing. Gattuso goes out and says that Higuain hasn't told them anything that he wants to leave. So it's kind of hard to see what to believe there, but. You know what? If he's not wanted, or I think it's maybe a bit more on him. That's frustrated. He's not getting the service that he's gotten at previous teams with Juve, with Napoli, with Real Madrid. You know what? He's not getting he's not up there in the scoring charts. He has 6 goals, but a player like him that's considered one of the better strikers in the world. I would think that he would at least be in the double digits at this point of the season. So if he wants to get up there with Ronaldo and the rest of them, so it's kind of been a frustrating year for Higuain, and he definitely shows his emotions. And I think sometimes that gets a bit of the better of him. If he can work that out, it'd probably be for his benefit there. But if his future's not at Milan, then he goes to Chelsea. So be it. But we'll have to wait and see.
We actually got a question in to our Twitter.
So follow us at the Calcio Guys.
At the Calcio Guys, also on Instagram, YouTube, the Calcio Guys.
Yeah.
Why is Milan hesitating to start Cutrone? He has been Milan's most clutch player in the Europa League and Serie A, yet we're looking for a replacement to Higuain and not a backup or partner for Cutrone. We pretty much answered that question with Piontek.
Yeah.
I could see him as a partner.
I think
will he overtake Cutrone? He could.
Potentially.
He could. And it depends how he does. Depends his service. He's also playing on a Genoa team who they really don't have much service.
Yeah.
He's not going to be. He doesn't play with wingers like Suso or Samu Castillo or Hakan Çalhanoğlu in Genoa.
Yeah.
Guys who could actually give him service in Milan.
Yeah.
So if he's doing that in Genoa, scoring 13 goals, imagine what he could do in Milan.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Or if Gattuso changed formation to like a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2, which he's actually used before.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go for the 3-back. I think if he's smart, he should go with the 4-back. But to continue on the question, I think now since they have that world class player in Higuain on the team, you need to start that guy. You know what? He's there to score you goals. I know it hasn't been all pretty and all beautiful football with Milan this season, but he came in to be your number 9, and that's what he should be. I don't take anything away from Cutrone. He's as I said, a fantastic player. I love seeing him when he plays. He really has that voglia, that will to win and to play and to fight for the shirt, which I obviously love. But I don't think obviously Piontek is on Higuain's level when Higuain is on his game, and I don't think yet Piontek has proven that he can match Cutrone also. So I think, as we said, if he comes in, he'll definitely, hopefully, partner up with Cutrone.
Other moves that a lot of speculation. One I like, Davide Zappacosta rumored or linked with Lazio.
Yeah, that's kind of been in the news.
I like that one because Lazio really doesn't have fullbacks.
No, if you go back to when we had Nando Mosano on, he definitely let out his frustration on that. You know, they have, was it?
Well, they have
Lukaku and
they have
Dormissi, but the captain, what's his face?
Radu.
No.
Basta.
Well, they have Radu and they have...
I need to pull up Lazio's roster.
There you go. We're not true Lazio fans, you can tell.
Well, they also play a 3-5-2, so they only really have...
Lulic.
Yeah, it's not Lulic.
That's what I'm saying. So they have kind of, not the best fullbacks, that you can say. So a move like for Zappacosta that's played in Italy, that knows the league and that I think that can probably just fill in the spots that they have. I think he can work. He can go up and down the field as well. I don't know. I haven't really seen him too much at Chelsea there, but
he hasn't really played that much.
There you go. So I mean, I think he flourishes, or probably would flourish better in Italy.
Another move coming from Chelsea. Apparently, Juventus would like Emerson. They said yesterday they would go after him if he becomes available. So I don't really know what that means. That's one of those transfer rumors that are just in the beginning. But that's something I don't really understand because they already have Cancelo, they already have Alexandro, Mattia De Sciglio, and well, right now they still have
Spinazzola,
Leonardo Spinazzola, who's really close or apparently could play at Bologna on loan, on a 6-month loan in the coming weeks. He played one game this season, and that was the Coppa Italia game against Bologna, and he played really well. I would not like to see him go unless Juventus knows they could get another fullback to come in. Otherwise, you're down to 3 fullbacks. And that's Juventus' problem this season. They have no depth whatsoever. There were some games they were traveling in the Serie A with only 3 center mids. They need depth. They need at least 2 fullbacks per side. Sure, De Sciglio could play either side. Sure, Quadrado could play as a right back, but he's hurt. He's not good.
And he's not suited for that role.
No. And they really need to keep Spinazzola. They need to develop him. He would definitely benefit more from learning from Cancelo and Alexandro than in Bologna, who's he going to play with,
He's going to start, so...
Yeah, well, he's going to start at least, but...
But, no, I mean, I was reading before Gianluca Di Marzio said that I think he's close. There's talks, obviously, that he's close to Bologna, but I think they'll probably keep a hold of him. And if they're smart, they should definitely do that.
Hamid Junior Traore, I had trouble saying that one, from Empoli.
The young Ivorian.
He could be going to Fiorentina, even though Inter apparently has interest right now. He's 18 years old, so he's a guy that perfect for Fiorentina.
I think so too.
I've always said in terms of European transfer, you go from the Division 2 team to the mid-table Division 1 team to the top of the table Division 1, and then if you're good enough, you go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich. So right now, Fiorentina is that mid-table team where they go after those 18-year-olds coming from lower Division 1 teams, Division 2 teams.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've heard that he's been doing really well at Empoli, and he's probably starting over there, so he's definitely getting minutes and, proving his worth. I think he can probably slot into to Fiorentina's lineup next year or whenever. I think they were trying to get him for a summer move. That's what the talks were, at least. And if he does, I think he can definitely slot into the midfield, as a sub or what have you. But he's a young player. He's exciting, and he has all the potential in the world. So, you know what? To go from Serie B up to Fiorentina and Serie A, I think it's a big move for him.
Juraj Kucka, coming back to Serie A with Parma.
Yes.
I really liked him at Milan. He's Grinta, one of those box-to-box passion midfielders that Milan is probably missing right now, but he's not suited for Milan anymore, I'd say.
No.
But he's definitely someone that Parma needs. They really don't have guys who could play that role. I mean, Barilla, he's older. He's going to get tired easier.
Yeah.
More easy.
Yeah.
Kucha's going to come in and probably get a starting role with them.
Yeah, I think it's actually official now that they signed him.
They tweeted out this morning, so
Yeah.
this is a confirmed move.
Confirmed transfer. Kuchka coming back to Italy with Parma. Parma's actually been in the news quite a bit so far this mercato. I think they're even interested in Chievo's striker Stepinski. The striker there, I think he's Polish. He was also linked, Di Marzio was saying. They were in the news for many different players. One that I find that is a bit, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate. I think we were talking a bit before, Simone Scuffet, leaving Italy, still young, 22 years old, leaving Italy to go to Turkey to go try to revitalize, I guess, his career. He was supposedly supposed to be, the next Buffon when he first came up. And
they were all supposed to be the next Buffon.
Yeah, well, that's, that was his label, and I don't think he really, met up to that standard, obviously. And now he's going to Turkey for Kasim Paza, I think it's called, the team. I think he's really close, or he's pretty much a done deal over there. So it's sad to see, younger Italians leaving the league to go play somewhere else to try to revitalize their career. I would wish that, you stay in Italy and try to do that, but it is what it is. So he's on the move.
By the way, Traore at 2:07. So right as we started the show,
it's official.
Official according to Di Marzio.
There you go. That's pretty much official.
Pretty much official. It's one of the few guys you could trust on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's one thing about Twitter, Calcio Mercato Twitter. I see so many things a day, and I just ignore most of it. Unless it comes from a checkmark account or someone an account I really trust.
Yeah, I mean the Marzios, the Sky Italia, Gazzetta, they're usually pretty good. That's where I try to go for my news. Or as you said, accounts that you can trust, or people that you think you can trust, and to get the facts out there, and not just like Tutto Sport or something like that just kind of want to just sell the papers, so they put whatever they can, and that happens a lot in Italy. So when you can find sources that you can trust, it's really beneficial.
That's one thing we definitely learn in journalism school, to watch out for those fake news online.
But it's true; it's a real thing.
Try to verify everything. Speaking about journalism school, we're gonna have Elias Grigoriadis joining us in a couple of minutes to talk about Real Madrid. So we're stepping away from the Italian league for a bit. You're listening to the Calcio Guys on CGLO 1690. Welcome back to CGLO with Adreano and Nicholas. Myself, Nicholas Di Giovanni. This is the Calcio Guys, and joining us on the line is Elias Grigoriadis. Elias, how's it going?
I'm good, and yourself?
Not too bad. So, Real Madrid, winners of 3 straight Champions League trophies. They lose Ronaldo to the Serie A, obviously, and they have so many problems this season. I mean, what's going on in Madrid?
I think right now it's more than anything, it's a confidence issue. Right now, they seem more vulnerable than ever, and I think it's because essentially they lost 40 goals a year guaranteed. So when you have someone like Ronaldo up front that can essentially win you games alone, you play with a lot less on your shoulders. You always know that there's almost a safety net. And with that safety net gone, and Karim Benzema, who's not producing, you have Gareth Bale, who's probably one of the most inconsistent players in the world at the moment right now, who can, at his best, be comparable to Ronaldo, and at his worst, be essentially just a pylon. They're really vulnerable right now, and every single time they're playing, they don't seem sure of themselves. And the one game they've won this year that was even close to like a comfortable win was against Leganés in the Coppa del Rey. They won over the weekend in a 2-1 win with an 88th minute goal. And every single game they're playing right now seems to be by the last breath that they come away with points. So it's very worrying, and I don't think a managerial change is going to change that. I think Solari should keep his job until they can get some new players in, because with the squad they have right now, they don't look fit to win anything domestically, and they definitely don't look fit to defend the European title. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, even just for casual fans of the team, you would think that with the team that they have, they can still pick up these wins and get these wins against lower end teams in La Liga, and it's kind of crazy to see that they're not. Seeing that obviously Ronaldo did move in the summer, do you think that's the sole factor of why they can't get these results?
I think it definitely affects their mentality. In terms of sheer numbers, they do have the talent to recreate
Yeah.
those 40 goals they're missing out on. That's for sure. But I think just the fact that they've gone out and they've lost this sort of safety net definitely affect their mentality, because they could essentially go out and with little to no preparation comfortably win a game because they have, just off of sheer talent, they have enough to beat most teams.
Yeah.
And their best 11 was better than any 11 in the world by far with Cristiano Ronaldo. Without Cristiano Ronaldo, they are more vulnerable, and that's the problem now. They need structure, and you have not lower quality teams, but smaller teams that don't have the budget that Real Madrid have are becoming more and more organized. We're seeing that not just in La Liga, but across every single big league, where the bigger teams are ending up having stiffer competition because now the smaller teams know how to organize themselves. So if you have a team like Real Madrid that doesn't have an all-time great like Cristiano Ronaldo that can just bang in goals for fun, you need to now organize yourselves, and that's not something we're seeing.
What would you do if you were manager of this Real Madrid team then, in terms of tactics?
I'd play Isco a lot more. Isco's criminally underplayed, and if it continues like this, he won't be there next season for sure, because Isco is one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, and right now he's coming off the bench on a couple games. I don't think he started a game. He started 2 games in 2019, which is criminal if you ask me, especially since they have so much trouble scoring goals and creating opportunities. They need a reliable number 9, right? Gareth Bale has done well up top here and there, but if they're going to play your standard 4-3-3 where you've got Bale on one wing, Asensio or Isco on another wing, and you've got Benzema up top, there's not enough quality there to make up for the talent they lost. So if they're looking to go into the transfer market, I know Florentino Perez has been obsessed with getting either Eden Hazard or Neymar. It's practically public knowledge at that point. Eden Hazard is probably a more likely target. I don't think he'll be getting him in the winter. I think Hazard, if he does move, will happen in the summer. So right now, all they can do is main tactical changes, because getting supplemental players and getting players like Brahim Diaz it's a smart move. He'll end up becoming an incredible player if he continues on this path, because he's shown really great things with Manchester City. But it doesn't assess their most current problem, which is fielding an 11 that can beat any other 11 in the world, because they've made it clear that they don't really see La Liga as a priority. The Champions League is their main priority. And if you don't have an 11 that could comfortably take on every other team in the world like they did the last 3 years where they won the Champions League, then they're going to struggle. And if you're going to struggle in the Champions League, then at least do what Barcelona's doing and put all your effort into domestic titles. But they seem to be focusing on neither. And right now, it's not looking good, and it doesn't seem to be looking up either, because they've got a big game against Sevilla coming up. They've got a cup tie that they should win, no problem. They went up 3-0 in the first leg, so that won't be a problem. But right now, the way they're playing, making Champions League could be a good result for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's where they belong. They have that DNA. Champions League is, in their DNA, for forever. It's been going back to, just, confidence and stuff like that. There's been obviously, players kind of seeming to act a bit more negative with the media and stuff like that. They don't have the confidence. And you said that the coach should keep his job. Do you find he has control of the team? Do you find that maybe there's a little bit of a discrepancy between the players and the coach, or do you think he has the locker room? Do you think he can improve? Where do you think his future will be?
I don't think he's had enough time there to lose the locker room. I definitely think if they keep on dropping points at this rate, then it's inevitable, especially at a team with Real Madrid's legacy and the expectations that come with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the players have had enough time to start to lose faith in him. It's definitely not the case like with Lopetegui, where, he comes in, there's all the drama surrounding the national team, and then they start that poorly. Solari came from the Real Madrid system, so they definitely already know of him. They definitely already have faith in what he's done. If it continues like this, obviously it's inevitable. But right now, I feel like all the players should have confidence in him. It's more just a mentality thing now, right?
Yeah.
The way, not just the mentality from the players too, but I feel like the coach They need more structure right now, because if you watch them play, they're out playing like they do have Cristiano Ronaldo still, and they're out playing, like all we have to do is find him. But in reality, if you're finding him versus finding even Karim Benzema or even Gareth Bale, the results will be a lot. Will not be anything near that. And you could tell, because there's some games that they end up dropping points where they end up with 10, 15 shots on target, and they end up with 1 goal, right? And it's not. You could tell that there's a missing presence there.
So Real Madrid returns to the Champions League. In a month from now, they play against Ajax in the round of 16. And despite all their problems, they had a killer round robin group stage in the Champions League. I mean, is it like a switch goes off when Real Madrid plays in this competition?
They'll always do well in the Champions League, right? It is Real Madrid, and like you said, it is basically in the DNA. If you come to Real Madrid, Champions League success is in the job description. I don't think they'll lose against Ajax, but I definitely don't think it'll be comfortable. Ajax is a team that doesn't shy away from the fact that if they play against a bigger club, for example, or a club with a bigger budget or more players, that they will lock it up, and they have no shame in that. And we've seen time and time again against smaller La Liga teams that Real Madrid has trouble breaking down sides that just lock down the front of their net and deny access. So I do think they will end up overpowering Ajax. I don't expect it to be a blowout. If it is, I'd be very surprised, especially given the way that they're attacking. And defensively, they've always been weak. It's just that they've always had the offense to counteract that. You have people like Sergio Ramos, you have people like Marcelo and Dani Carvajal, which are incredible defenders in their own right, but they do like getting forward. And if they get forward and they don't end up succeeding, and they don't end up scoring like they have been this year, then they're very vulnerable to counterattacks, which is the way they've been conceding the majority of their goals this year anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, going back even just into the Champions League, I said, it's obviously in their DNA, and you think they can definitely get past, or should be getting past Ajax. Do you see them going, all the way? Do you think they can, get another victory, another Champions League trophy, or do you think they'll be stopped by another powerhouse in Europe?
It very much depends. You see teams like maybe PSG, or you see teams like City, or you see teams like Juventus, which have a very quick counterattack football where they press high in the second you lose possession. If you don't get back, you're conceding. I don't see the way they're built to be functioning like that, because they're a very attacking team. Like I said, except for Rafa Varane, all three other defenders like to get up. They like to join the attack, which is very good. But if they lose possession, you have people like Kylian Mbappe, you have people like Neymar that can absolutely destroy you. And if they continue with the scoring struggles, then they could find themselves really exposed. And if that's not addressed, and if they don't find some kind of structure, then I feel like that's inevitable given their form right now.
So Elias, moving away from Real Madrid, you're Greek.
I am Greek, yes.
We know us Italians and Greeks. I mean, we're not too different. We got a lot of the same, I guess you could say, values. Maybe a bit different language, different food.
We do.
But a lot of the same traditions. And I gotta ask you. I think I know the answer to this question. But who's your favorite Greek player in the Serie A?
Look, in terms of center backs in the world, Kostas Manolas is one of the most fun center backs to watch.
There you go.
Just because of the confidence. Just watching him with the national team, I mean, he's probably the biggest reason why we lost to Croatia in the World Cup playoff, as big as we did, because he was suspended for the first game, he came in the second game, and all of a sudden it felt like everyone was just had more confidence, and he's so much fun to watch, and not just in Serie A, but in terms of just global center backs. Just the confidence is so entertaining, and it's just really a joy to. Because Greeks aren't necessarily the most attacking team. We've always taken pride in our defensive qualities. We won the Euro with something like 10 goals total. So it's always nice to see Greek center backs being up there amongst world-class defenders.
So Greece is actually in the same group as Italy for the Euro 2020 qualifier, with Bosnia-Herzegovina, Finland, Armenia, and Liechtenstein. Do you see Greece qualifying for Euro 2020?
With Greece, you never know. Greece probably has to be one of the most inconsistent teams out there where we'll end up, setting ourselves up for making the Euro or making the World Cup, and then we'll lose to San Marino or Gibraltar, and then everything is done. So honestly, it's a crapshoot. The game against Bosnia-Herzegovina is going to be an entertaining one for sure. I don't expect them to change up tactically too much. They have like a rigid 4-2-3-1 that they always play, and they don't shy away from the fact that they will defend you into oblivion, and that a 0-0 draw is not the worst result possible for them. So I don't expect them to change up their tactics like that unless they desperately need a win. And honestly, it's not the most entertaining football, but there's always more at stake, and it's always more entertaining when it's your country, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Seeing that you are Greek, do you follow the Greek league at all? Or do you have maybe a Greek team that you do follow?
The Greek team, not as much, no, unfortunately.
No,
It's not as good. That's why.
well, I don't know.
I mean, the league.
Just curious.
Compared to Syria, no, I'll give you that much.
I mean, compared to even La Liga or, I mean, Greek teams in the Champions League.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you just
Hulk was in the Champions League this season.
Olympiacos is in it, and I think we've only got one this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Panathinaikos, I don't think is there.
Yeah,
No, I don't think they made it.
it's not one of the stronger leagues,
No,
unfortunately.
it's not, that's for sure.
Even though Greece won Euro 2004. Do you remember that at all?
I still have the Haristea shirt my parents got me after he scored.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, he's... I'm never going to forget that, and neither will my Portuguese friends, that's for sure.
There you go.
That's good. Anyways, thanks for joining us on the Calcio Guys, Elias.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Anyways, you're listening to the Calcio Guys on CGO 6090. On the other side, Serie A returns this weekend.
Arriva il pallone, lo mette fuori Cannavaro, poi ancora insiste Podolski, Cannavaro, via il contropiede per Totti, dentro il pallone per Girardino la può tenere anche vicino alla bandierina, cerca 2 contro 1, Girardino, dentro Del Piero, uno spettacolo, loro tutti avanti, distrutti, siamo ripartiti alla grande, ha fatto un gol Del Piero, l'aveva sbagliato così nel 2000 contro la Francia in finale, qui non l'ha sbagliato, l'ha messo dentro. È finita, chiudete le valigie amici, si va a Berlino Peppe, andiamo a Berlino Peppe.
Andiamo a Berlino, Pepe. You know why I wanted to play that? Because it's really cold outside.
It's a little pick me up.
It's a little pick me up, exactly, for at least our Montreal listeners. I don't know if you're listening elsewhere in the world where it's a bit warmer. If you're listening from Florida, let's say.
God bless you.
I hope you didn't listen to that because you already have the sun as a pick me up. No, I'm kidding. Everybody needs that pick me up every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Serie A is back this weekend after a 3-week break. It's good to have back. We're back on the, what do they call it in Italian? The Girone Ritorna.
Yeah.
That's it. Back to the same schedule as we had back on match day 1, except this is match day 20.
Yeah, it's just flipped, yeah.
So it's kind of easier to know or just remember what it's like to have these two teams play against each other because they already did. Juventus plays Chievo, and I remember the match day 1 game pretty well where Juventus was down 2-1, and then Bernardeschi did his magic and won 3-2.
Sorrentino stood on his head that game too.
Yeah, he also got knocked in the head, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So he did stun on his head. Giaccherini scored on a penalty. Stupinski scored with a header. Man, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. It was in August, and we're January.
You got a good memory.
I do. That's what, 5 months ago?
Yeah.
I'm not too good at math, though.
No, it's okay.
5 months. Yeah, I guess 13 minus 8, 5. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, are we the math channel or are we the Calcio Guys?
We're switching to the math channel.
Okay.
Roma plays Torino in a battle of the Burgundy teams.
Yeah.
In the first game of the weekend on Saturday at 9 a.m.
The 19th, right?
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, no, I think so. Also, there's Inter Sassuolo on the Friday as well. Udinese Parma. Then going on to the Saturday, there's the Napoli-Lazio game, which I think is a huge one.
That's on Sunday, actually. So
Sunday,
Yeah.
Sunday. The Napoli-Lazio
that's why
game.
we're not the math channel.
No.
We can't even get dates right.
No. At 2:30 on Sunday. Napoli-Lazio, I think that's pretty crucial for Napoli going forward.
In the first game between the two in Rome, Napoli won that. Like 1-0. I don't know.
No, isn't. All I remember was the Immobile goal where he took 3 defenders, cut inside, and I think he put it up top corner. I'm pretty sure that was that game. Also, Milan plays Genoa on Monday morning.
It was 2-1 Napoli.
2-1
Napoli, yeah.
Okay. To round it off on the 21st, Genoa Milan and Juve Chievo, as you said. So should be action packed. We're back with Calcio on the weekends and should be fun.
So Genoa Milan, this is actually a game that had to be postponed from match day 1.
Yeah.
Because of the bridge that collapsed in Genoa. And this week, they actually had to make another change to it. It's Monday at 9 a.m.
Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, for us, okay, if I decide to watch it, I can. I'm going to be up and happening that morning. I'm just going to be at home.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will be too.
Yeah.
Juventus plays at 2:30 on
Monday as well.
Monday. Actually, so they're going to be playing while I'm back here for CGL Sports with Matthew Coit, Mondays 3 to 4.
Tune into that.
On CGL 1690.
Definitely tune into that.
So they play at 2:30, so I'm going to be kind of missing that game unless I put it up on my laptop or something.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the Monday at 9 a.m., I would have preferred maybe it to be more of an afternoon game, but you know what, with this scheduling, you never know. I find with this scheduling, Serie A, it's like it's always like a wish-wash kind of scenario with I find this scheduling sometimes. But it is what it is, and they have to play Genoa, and they'll have to get these points going forward because Milan, they're lucky to be in the position that they're in. They've had obviously injuries, as we've mentioned, and stuff that hasn't really gone their way. But you know what? They need to pick up their game as well, and they need to get as many points as they can. They couldn't capitalize when the other bigger teams kind of slipped up. So now they're really going to have to put their best foot forward and definitely pick up these points.
I think the game of the week is Napoli-Lazio. But you know what? I actually like Inter Sassuolo because Sassuolo won on the first game, obviously at home. So now Inter, it's time for a bit of revenge for them in front of closed doors. So it's not that much of a home game per se.
No,
but
I mean
it's still at the San Siro.
Yeah, the atmosphere won't be buzzing, but you know what? These players, they're as much as they're snakes, they're quality at two. So you know what? It's going to be, as you said, I think a good game.
Looking at the other games, Fiorentina Sampdoria, that's actually a good game. That's one I'm excited about between Stefano Pioli, Marco Giampaolo.
Yeah, mid-table
for coaches, mid-table / Europa League.
Mm-hmm.
This one's in Florence. That could be under radar. It could be a high scoring game.
Yeah, maybe even what we maybe think now the Napoli-Lazio game of the week. I would maybe even put Fiorentina Sampdoria in terms of meaning also up there. Because I think it definitely is important for their push for Europe going forward.
So you want to go to our predictions?
Sure, absolutely.
You want to go to predictions? That's something we haven't done in a while.
No, we've been without that for all this time off.
For a month.
For a month, yeah.
It's almost a month ago, our last show. And Johnny gets 0 points for this week. He got all of his predictions wrong because he didn't put in a single prediction.
Yeah.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah, that's typical Johnny, man. I don't know what's going on.
Roma Torino.
Roma Torino, I'm going to stick with Roma. I think they definitely need these points if they want to make Europe. They've been in obviously a sticky situation in the first part of the season. I'm going to, especially being at home, I think they probably can pick up a 3-1 victory, I'll say.
I think Roma went through their troubles at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So now they're going to hit a high. 2019 is Roma's year. I'm putting that on the table.
Yeah, if they want to get up into Europe, they have to. They have no choice.
So I think they're going to start with a solid 2-0 win
2-0
at home.
Okay.
Udinese Parma. So this is a struggling Udinese side hosting Parma. You know what? Parma, there's one team, every time I predict them to win, they don't win.
So go for Udinese.
But then I'd be wrong.
So I mean, I don't know. I'll probably stick with Parma too, though. To be honest with you.
You want to go for a scoreline on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll probably go 2-0 for Parma over Udinese.
I'll go. Actually, let me go with the draw. Let me play it safe and go with the draw. 1-1.
1-1.
Inter Sassuolo. I'm gonna say an upset for Sassuolo. Actually, I'm gonna say an upset. I'm gonna say again 2-1.
2-1. I mean, it would be nice, obviously, to see Sassuolo do that, but I don't know. Inter's kind of been, pretty, stable. I mean, I know obviously they played Benevento over the weekend, Coppa Italia, so that kind of maybe was a morale booster, 6-2 against them. But I don't think they'll drop all 3 points. I could see it definitely a tie. I'm going to go 2-2.
Frosinone hosts Atalanta. This is a blowout game back on match day 1. It was actually a Monday. The Monday night football.
Calcio, yeah. Monday night football.
Monday night football game. Atalanta blew them out. It was like 6-2
Somehow,
or nothing, something like that. It was an easy win for Atalanta. I think it's gonna be an easy win again. Especially the way they've been playing, the way Zapata's been scoring. Yeah. I go 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
I'll go 3-0.
Spal Bologna. This is just a game you don't want to watch.
Yeah, wishy-washy game.
At least it's Sunday at 9.
Sunday at 9.
It's actually Nunday at sign. It's one of two, oddly one of two, Sunday at 9 games, and the other one is Fiorentina Sampdoria. So we don't have to watch it if we don't want to.
No, I don't think. Yeah, as you said, I don't think it'll be anything too special. I mean, if Bologna wants to kind of get out of that relegation zone, they should. They need to pick up these points there. But I honestly, against Spal, I don't think they'll do it. Unfortunately, I'll go 2-1 Spal.
2-1 Spal. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go 0-0.
0-0?
That's just the type of game that this is going to be. It's going to be 0-0.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Spal, gave Milan a run for their money before the break. So, I mean...
Anybody could give Milan a run for their money.
Well, I don't know about that. But, no, I think Spal can definitely do it against Bologna.
I did say Fiorentina Sampdoria would be high scoring, so... I'm going to go 3-2 Sampdoria. Fiorentina, not Sampdoria. 3-2 Fiorentina. And if Luis Muriel plays, he's going to score. And he's not going to celebrate because it's going to be against his former club.
We'll see. We'll definitely have to see if he gets any minutes or plays the full game, half a game. If he only gets 15 minutes, we'll have to definitely see. But I think obviously Muriel class in Serie A, so I think he should be getting minutes. Do Fiorentina get the win? I think as you said, I do agree with that high scoring game. I'll stick with 3-1 Fiorentina. Quagliarella gets the goal on the other side for Samp.
It's true. It would make it 10 straight games.
Yeah, I think he can do it.
Closing in on some records. I would love to see him just continue scoring.
Yeah.
It would be nice for him.
At the point of his career to still be on top like that, it's great to see.
If he scores 10, to continue making history in a city full of history in Florence.
There you go.
Let's put it that way.
There you go.
Cagliari hosts Empoli, another game that not many people, except for maybe Cagliari and Empoli fans, are really going to want to watch. I mean, it's better than obviously Spal Bologna. Empoli's been kind of slowly trending upwards. They took some losses during the holidays, and Cagliari's actually a good team at home. So I'm going to go 1-0 Cagliari.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have to agree a bit too there. Cagliari, they're in what, 13th, I think. So, you know what, they're slowly making a climb, maybe into the top 10. If they have, some good showings going forward. Do they pick up points against Empoli? I do think so. I'll go 2-0 actually. Cagliari over Empoli.
Genoa hosts Milan Monday at 9 a.m. Really bad timing, especially in Italy. That's Monday at 3.
Yeah.
So people who want to work and also want to watch soccer,
nobody works over there.
This is also in Genoa. So
yeah, they're not working. They're going to go the game.
They're working in Genoa.
They're working. Okay,
they're working in Milan too.
They'll find a way.
If this was like Napoli versus like Crotone or something, stadium would be packed.
Yeah.
Sorry for all Napolitans out there.
No, it's okay.
It's a sad truth about the Italian economy. Just not a lot of work.
It is what it is.
Available.
Yeah.
Where were we? Genoa hosts Milan.
No, Milan needs
1-1.
Milan needs the points.
Milan always needs the points. You always need the points in in soccer. You play to win the game.
You do play to win the game. I'll hear Edwards. But no, They absolutely need the points. There can't be any more slip ups with these lower end teams or mid table teams. I know they're in that pack too, but they need to get the points. So I'm gonna say hopefully 2-0.
And quickly, got about like 15 seconds. Juventus Cavo. Not much to talk about in this one. It's gonna be a blowout. 3-0 Juve.
Yeah, I'll say 4-0.
4-0. Thanks for listening. Follow the Calcio Guys on Twitter, Instagram,
YouTube.
The Calcio Guys. Thanks for listening.
Ciao.